Hi, I'm Brian Walters. I'm a managing partner here at Walters Gilbreth. I've been licensed to practice law here in Texas since 1996, and I'm board certified in family law. So one of the most common questions that I get is what's going to happen to the marital home? Who's going to end up with it? If you're married, you guys living in a home together, what's going to be the outcome of it? A lot of folks want to stay in the home. There's often an emotional component to it. It's frequently also one of the biggest or the biggest asset in a divorce. So here's how it works. So first of all, the first question is it someone's separate property, basically? Did they own it before the marriage? If so, they're going to leave with it. They're going to be able to stay in it almost in every case. There could be some complexities about how that's calculated, but that's generally going to be the outcome. But for most people, they bought it during the marriage, they own it together, both of their names are on the deed and mortgage. That's a typical situation. So what happens then? I think the first question to a court is usually who's going to get temporary custody of the kids. Whoever gets temporary custody of the kids, if there are children in the marriage, they're typically going to stay in the house while the case is pending, while the divorce is being processed. And the reason for that is because the focus is on the kids and keeping them in the rooms that they're used to and keeping them at the home most of the time that they've spent. Now, if you don't have kids, then that's a different situation. And generally, if there's a dispute about it, the court's going to look at the question of who can pay for that house and the upkeep up at the mortgage, the insurance, all those other type of things best. And so if one spouse has a lot more income than the other, that might be the spouse that keeps it. Because again, the courts don't look at these houses as anything as an emotional component. They look at a house as a line item on a property spreadsheet. So if your house is worth $3 million and you owe $2 million on it on a mortgage, then it's a $1 million line item that has just as much meaning to a judge as a 401k with $1 million in it. There's not an emotional component. So in that case, the judge is just thinking to themselves, well, how can I make sure all the bills get paid at this house? And that's usually easiest done by the person with the higher income. If you have similar incomes, honestly, I think a court would basically flip the coin about it. But that rarely happens. I rarely have people that actually litigate about who's going to stay in the house because these rules are pretty well understood by lawyers, and it's usually possible to see where things are going to go and come up with an agreement about it. If it is really important to you, though, you can make a case out of it, and you certainly can present it to the judge and present your arguments, and the court may well agree with you. So thanks again for listening. If you have any questions or want to get in contact, please do. We'd be happy to talk to you.